Welcome to the agenda with me, Lasha Kingsley in Douala, Cameroon. As the coronavirus pandemic takes hold, the capacity of governments around the world to respond is being seriously tested. My guest today is the CEO of Zones.com, who has just created an application that sends coronavirus updates to people who are offline. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Hello, Bruno. It's a pleasure having you on the program.
My pleasure is all mine, Mr. Lasha Kingsley. Thank you for inviting me.
Can you briefly tell televiewers, introduce yourself to the million televiewers who are watching us at this time?
Yeah, basically, Bruno is a tech entrepreneur. I specialize in information security. Started my first company in 2009 and started Zoix, the company we're talking about today, in 2017. Registration date actually. And so basically that's me, just some guy who is in one corner writing computer codes and trying to change the world. In 2018 I was awarded the best innovator in Cameroon by the Presidential Prize. They call it in French Lion d'Or or Golden Lion. Also taken part in Demo Africa and some other awards across the continent. I've also been opportune to represent my country, Cameroon, in the Commonwealth Business Forum that took place in 2019.
The coronavirus took the world by surprise, and we have over 1 million confirmed cases around the world. How has life changed with the outbreak of this deadly virus that is ravaging the world?
Absolutely, Lasha Kingsley. This is one of, I think, the only case I've seen where the entire world goes on lockdown. The entire planet, I think, is on lockdown. It has affected not only the health of people, it has affected businesses, economies, and even transportation has been really affected. Every aspect of human life has been affected by this virus. And unfortunately, or I can say, yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people have lost their lives from this virus. We are fortunate that in our country we might not have the same cases like in other countries like Italy, United States, but I think life is not the same. Life is not the same. I don't think it's ever going to be the same even after the virus.
You just created an application which sends messages to people who are offline. Sir, can you help me understand how this application functions? How practical and how realistic is this application?
Well, that is a very nice question. We have, the application is actually called SIVA, which stands for SMS Interrelated Server. And we designed this application before the coronavirus. But when the coronavirus hit hard and we started seeing cases of hundreds in our own country, we wanted to use this application to help a lot of people, as much people as possible. I remember one of the things this application does is looking at the statistics, just 13% of Africans are actually online. So the application helps those 13% to be able to send out relevant information about the coronavirus to those who are not online. And it's very, very simple. All you need to do is go to siva.me/corona, and you're going to be presented with a form which you fill your phone number, the phone numbers of those you want to inform, and we're actually going to be sending them verified information. So it's not just any type of information. We are taking the information from the Ministry of Health, from the WHO, and we keep sending this by SMS absolutely for free to those who cannot come online.
And let's take, for example, somebody, my grandfather is in the village and he does not understand English language. Are you envisaging or thinking of maybe introducing a voice note, probably in pidgin, that can help deliver the message to those who cannot read and write?
Yes, we have thought about that, and we've also implemented the SMS in a way that you, Lasha Kingsley, can actually write the message yourself. So if you don't want our system to send automated messages, you can actually write a message in your own dialect. And we are thinking of the version 2, which is pretty going to come up soon, almost in a week's time, to allow Lasha Kingsley to send a pre-recorded message, or pick up the pre-recorded messages of the Minister of Health, the WHO, some respected organizations, and actually send this over time like automated calls. The issue here we do have is that the privacy of these people must also be respected. So until you enter someone's number, the person is not actually going to be getting those messages.
No, like just pop up messages that come from
anywhere.
Telecommunication.
Exactly. Exactly. So with this one, you actually need to put in the number of the person, you put in the name of the person, and then our system is going to pick up that information, save it in our database, and every day or every 2 weeks or every week, right now we're doing it every 24 hours. So every 24 hours they get reminded to wash their hands, they get reminded to practice good respiratory hygiene, they get reminded to stay away from populated areas, and all of this is completely offline, and it doesn't matter what type of phone they use. So whether they have a smartphone or what we commonly call in Cameroon choronko, it doesn't really matter.
When you look at where you are now, from the day you created this application, how many lives have you impacted?
Well, Lasha, for me, it's not, I don't really look at the number of people, but I know someone's life must have been impacted. Right now, we have on our database close to 200 people who have already signed up. 200 people, we're talking about those who have inputted the numbers of their loved ones. So one single person can input the number of 5 people, for example. So I think that the life of these people must be impacted, or somehow be impacted by what we are creating. And it doesn't really matter if all Cameroon goes online on it or everybody uses it. My main focus is that if I can save the life of Lasha Kingsley alone, that would be pretty much good for me.
How accessible is this application?
Well, really accessible for those who are online. So if you are online and you can access the internet, just go to SIRVER, that's SIRVER.me, not .com, .me/corona. And immediately you go online, you'll be presented with that form. You will actually see the cases of every country in the world, but you still have that form which you can fill in and have your loved ones being reminded about important information concerning the coronavirus.
Who is sponsoring the project? Have you been able to talk to officials of the health ministry in Cameroon?
Oh, well, for now the answer is no, we have not. This project is being sponsored now by my company, Zoix. We're paying for everything, and the reason why we do this is because we can't put everything on the government. I do believe that the government has a role to play, but at the same time, if we look at other countries like the United States, we see people like Elon Musk. We see Elon Musk is able to create devices that are used in the hospital using their own money. So it's our own small way of saying, hey, we are right behind you, Minister of Health, Minister of Scientific Research and Innovation. We're behind you, we want to help you, and we're doing the small that we can do.
Yeah. Is it the only thing you've been able to do so far as the fight against coronavirus? Do you have other projects?
Yes. Right now, as we speak, we do have a wearable watch that we're designing, which is able to detect the coronavirus at a very, very early age. It's not yet completely produced, so that's why we're still keeping it a little bit of secret. But this watch is able to record the amount of time you cough, it's able to record your body temperature, it's able to record your heart beats, your heart rate, your blood oxygen level, and all of this information, it interprets it, and then also alerts you if you get to a populated area. The watch is able to alert you that you are in a possible place where you can pick up the coronavirus. So it's still in production yet, but we hope that it comes out pretty soon so that people can start using it.
How affordable would that be?
Well,
and is it user-friendly? Can everybody use the watch?
Pretty much everybody can use the watch, because all you need to do is just put it on. The watch will actually be able to talk to you with audio, both in French and English for a start. And we try to make it as affordable as possible, because the main aim is not profit. Again, Lasha, it's not to make money out of it. People are going through, the world is going through a very serious situation. So it's not time for people to make money. It's time for people to see how we can help ourselves. We're all humans. I even watched a video where a dog picks up, is actually pushing a fish into water. So if animals can do that, then what of us humans? I think we should come together and help ourselves.
Does it end only at the level of detecting the virus, or after detection, is there any other thing that the watch can help in doing?
Yes. After it detects that you might be a potential carrier of the virus, it will alert you where the nearest hospital is found, and it also alerts the nearest health institution where you are found. So the doctors might not only know that you have or you're a potential carrier, but they will also know where they can find you, and they can pick you up and do a real test, because this watch does not substitute the real test. It's just an alert system to say, hey, Lasha might be carrying this virus, so let's have a checkup.
So you're telling me there's a database where messages, the alert sends messages to? Yeah. Who are those working at the...
So this is an automated system. It's an automated database which is encrypted end to end. So there's no way where your medical data can fall into the hands of unethical hackers who might use it against you. It's a one end-to-end system, which after the production, I will propose that my companies have a meeting with the Minister of Scientific Research and the Minister of Health, and we see how this database can actually be at their control, so that everybody goes home satisfied to a certain level.
Without any complaint?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that all? Nothing apart from these two projects?
No, actually the project that made my company have limelight in the tech world was the car security project we designed, which also was designed in a troubled time like this. You remember in 2017, because of unrest in the English-speaking regions of the country, the government disconnected the internet for these two regions. It affected the lives of many people for close to 91 days. We're talking about 3 months. So my company came out with a car security solution that allows you to locate, immobilize, and do every other sort of security on your car over SMS. So we bypassed the need for internet connectivity for car security, and that actually won the presidential prize for best innovation in Cameroon. And so I think my company has since then focused on creating solutions geared towards Africans who are not online. So we are targeting the 87% of Africans who are not online, instead of the 13% who are online.
Who are online?
Yeah.
All right, and so far so good?
Yeah, so far this application is available in 14 African countries right now. I'm talking about car security application. And it's making some strides, really. We're making some progress, and we're going there gradually. And I'm happy that with this project, we have very good support from people like Ekoko Mukete. We have very good support from people like Madeleine Chwente, the Minister of Scientific Research and Innovation. And I think, yeah, we're getting there gradually. We're going to get there. I think so.
You're coming right away from Limbe. How is the situation about coronavirus over there?
Unfortunately, people are not heeding what the government is saying. If you go to the Limbe market, you're going to meet people going their daily business as if nothing is wrong. I think that people should take heed to what the government is saying, to what the media is promoting, to say that stay at home, limit your movement, move only when it's extremely important. One advice I'll give to everybody is that no country, no government wants its people to die for any reason. So at this point in time, we should listen to what the Minister of Health is saying. We should practice social distancing. I can even see between me and you, we're a little bit. Yeah, yeah. So
social distancing, very important.
Yeah. And just practice general hygiene. You know, wash your hands. Use hand sanitizer as frequently as possible. Use your face masks. These are things that they do cost some amount of money, but no money can be compared to your life. Absolutely.
There's this myth, surrounding the putting on of face or nose mask. What is your own take as technological experts? What have you been able to research concerning face mask?
Oh, well, that's one of the things we looked at when we were actually building the watch, because when you do cough without a face mask, the watch picks it up as a different signal, and if you cough with a face mask, it picks it up as a different signal. So basically what I think is face masks are just for protection. If the saliva of the person actually falls on your dress, according to what scientists are telling us, is good. The virus can be there for 5 days. So I think that we should put on the face masks because it will even protect the saliva from dropping off your mask. I think whether you have the virus or you don't, we should all use the face masks. I think so.
The WHO officials says they say people should only put it, only medical practitioners should put it. Meanwhile, the Cameroon government is imposing on citizens to put on face masks.
Professionally, I don't know. Professionally, I don't know. And what I can say is, I honestly, if you, for what I understand, the virus you can get from your saliva to another person's maybe body, maybe clothes. So if I have it and I don't know that I have it, and they say it's a 14-day incubation period, I think we should just put on the face mask. It doesn't hurt anyone to put on a face mask. And these face masks must not be those that are bought from abroad or 3M. I think even the ones that we can make ourselves, homemade face masks, I think we should use them.
So what are the type of face masks required or recommended for people to use, those who are not medical personnel?
I'm blank. I'm completely blank. I don't know. But I saw on a social media post where they were advising on the surgical mask.
Because we have those that have been locally made.
Yeah. But the best I saw so far on a social media post, and also the one I saw on WHO, was the surgical masks, which according to them prevents the virus more than any other mask. The locally made might just give you a sense of security, which is still not bad in itself, because even a sense of hope is good sometimes. So I think we should have this more explained better, so the Minister of Health can come out and explain better that, okay, these are the various types of masks you should use. And not only that, also tell us exactly where we can find them. So are they available in the first place? We're hearing of international trade being delayed, being slowed down by this virus. So are they available? And how much would they cost? And is the government subsidizing them? Things like that.
The Ministries of Basic and Secondary Education just released press releases talking about back to school, which is supposed to be on the 20th of this month. Looking at the statistics, the trends in which the positive cases are being declared in Cameroon, do you really think our kids, from a technological point of view and with the statistics you have at hand, do you think it's okay for our kids to go back to school? Absolutely not. I'm sorry to say that, but I don't need to be a medical practitioner or a tech guy to understand the risks. We've had people come and say this thing will end on the 27th of March. And 27th of March came, some pastors, some prophets. 27th of March came, and we had more cases. Right now in Cameroon, I think 4 days ago when I last checked, we had 500 and something, and we're having almost 100 adding to that. And if this trend continues, I think we'll only be getting more cases. So I don't think anybody should go to school, not even the teachers. I think our children should stay home. I think what the government needs to do is call the tech guys and say, let's build a virtual school. Let's build a system where children can attend school at home. Not sending the children to school. I think it's a pretty bad idea, especially at this time. But the state broadcaster, CRTV, has already started a move in that light by bringing teachers on board to teach students and pupils on television. Yeah, that is pretty much a very good idea. And I think that even though it's a good idea, all of us need to put our hands together. One of the projects that my company do right now is called GCE Base. It's a project that was born from GCE Helper, a former project that we did have. With GCE Base, students can get courses, specific courses from teachers. And actually, even though they are going to pay a little bit of amount for that money, we're talking about something about 500, about 1,000, for those courses, they can have those courses at home. And we've also incorporated the SMS system where courses can be sent out by 160 characters SMSs over a period of time. So I think that that's what we should be looking at. We should be looking at a situation where even if schools can't reopen, our children should not be left brain dead. In a sense of it, because the more the coronavirus pandemic goes on, the more we need to stay more at home. So we should start looking right now when we can move a little bit. Countries with advanced health facilities, they're still on lockdown. Yes.
A lot of countries are still on lockdown. I remember a video a friend sent to me of Italy, and it's like a ghost town, and nobody's going anywhere. And we even have police in India. We even have police outside. In Kenya, the Maasai are doing that, helping the police to make sure everybody stays at home. So the more people are staying at home, the more we should be looking at how we can use technology and social media, how we can use information and communication technology to make sure that people, even though staying at home, do benefit from what they were supposed to be doing if everything was normal.
Outages is still a very big problem, and slow internet with bands.
We don't even have a problem of slow internet alone. We have a problem of electrification. We have a problem of communication. We have a problem of optic fibers. Lasha, I think that this should teach us a lesson. If this pandemic do go away, which I pray it does, we should start building infrastructures like this. We should start putting in place electrification. These are very important things. You know, one guy was telling me, hey, the minister is advising we wash our hands. I don't have water. And that we're talking about Limbe, a town like Limbe. So imagine places like Tombel, Lum. What are we talking about? So it's really, it's a wake-up call for us.
So what is your message to policymakers, especially to the Minister of Health, who is already doing much when it comes to the fight against coronavirus in Cameroon?
I'll tell the policymakers, you can't do this alone, Lasha. It's a big fight. We, the entrepreneurs, we, the tech guys, we are ready to work with you guys. We are ready to work with them. I remember when I put up the SMS system, one of the first people I called was the media, let people know that this exists. So if the minister can call up on any entrepreneurs, any tech guy in Silicon Mountain, I would say, I don't even have the right to say it, but I think we are not that evil. We're going to come up and bring solutions. The American government have already done this. They called on the guys on Silicon Valley, and the guys are doing some pretty good job. And we see that what they're doing is actually helping to reduce the cases.
As you say, you guys are ready to give your services free of charge to the government.
Absolutely, we are. In fact, I for one, I am ready. I for one, I am ready. It's not about money all the time, Lasha. We can make money later on. Right now, let's save our mothers, let's save our brothers, let's save our sisters from dying. And by saving, if I save one person who is a husband, a father, that's like saving an entire family. So let's start doing that and forget about money for once. Then when we pick up ourselves back, we can say, okay, here's a drink. Have a drink for what you did. So
when you were building this watch that has to dictate, you know, somebody that is a potential carrier of the coronavirus, did you take into consideration some parameters like the number of days that probably the person has contracted the disease? Let's say, for example, if I come in contact with somebody who has a disease now, can the watch dictate it right away?
Absolutely not now. The watch at this stage,
what is the time frame?
The watch at this stage is recording your body temperature. So if your body temperature goes above the normal, we're talking about 40 and above, and you start showing signs of coughing, it needs a lot of time, like about 10 to 15 minutes, to record all these signals and then record you as a potential carrier. So if you just spend about 2 minutes with me, it's not going to be able to pick up that. But if you spend more than 10 to 15 minutes with me, it's actually going to tell you that I am a potential carrier, and this is what you can do in this case.
Suzanne, Bruno, thanks so much for accepting to be guests on this edition of The Agenda. We were very, very grateful to have had you on the program to share with Cameroonians the job you've been doing behind closed door to make sure, in your own little way, you fight the coronavirus in Cameroon.
Thank you so much, Lasha. It's my pleasure to always be on the show. So anytime you need me, I'll be here.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.